Hey everyone, as you almost certainly know, Stan Lee passed away just a couple days ago, and a number of people have been commenting, asking for kind of my feelings on it, my take on it, to do some sort of introspective video on it. And I've been wondering what to create, and even now I don't have any notes. I just kind of wanted to kind of freely talk about my take on Stan Lee and what he's meant for my life. And like most of you, if you enjoy my videos, you probably grew up reading comic books, playing with comic book action figures, watching the cartoons, watching the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the X-Men movies, and Stan Lee's creations brought incredible amounts of joy to your life. They've brought incredible amounts of joy to my life. And in ways that you don't even stop to think about. You know you love his stuff. You know that you enjoy his characters. But now that he's passed away, you have this moment where you stop and think, wow, so much of my life, so much happiness in my life goes back to the work of this one man. And of course, the team around him and everything, of course, but so much joy and happiness. And even now as a parent, my son's just 6 and he spent so much time playing around with like these little Spider-Man figures and watching. Well, just a couple weeks ago, I bought the 1990s Spider-Man cartoon to watch it with my son, something that I watched 20 years ago on my own, and now I'm watching it with my son. And there's just so much happiness that he has brought to the world. And then one of the thoughts that I had as I was I put a little update on my YouTube channel, just a little post, little blurb that I wrote. And as I was thinking about what I would say in that, I had this realization. Right now, the vast majority of you that's watching me right now are only watching this because of Stan Lee. You discovered my channel, a very large percentage of you, because of one of my Marvel rankings. A lot of you, right after Black Panther came out, I put out 3 Marvel rankings in a week. And that's kind of when my channel started to explode. And a lot of you, that's the first of my videos that you watched. Or maybe it was after Infinity War and my predictions or some of those other rankings. The majority of my people subscribed related to a Marvel video. And even if you weren't want someone that subscribed because of a Marvel video, my channel started to grow because of Marvel videos. And so even if it was a different one, the reason that those ones got traction and were promoted to you and you found it was because of these other Marvel ones. The reason that you are watching me right now is because of these characters that Stan Lee created 50 plus years ago. That's crazy to think about. Like Marvel, like I'm in a place in my life right now where I'm thinking in the next 6 months, I'll probably go full time on this YouTube thing, doing as a movie reviewer, as a commenter and all this fun stuff. And the reason that's happening is because of Marvel movies, going back to Stan Lee. And that's so crazy to think about. And I thought about it in terms of Marvel, that, wow, the MCU has radically changed my life, my financial situation, the direction, career, all that fun stuff. Just the level of joy for my family and stability has radically changed because of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is a weird thing to say, but it's true. But then in light of his passing, I realized that all goes back also to Stan Lee. He's changed the direction of my life, the career of my life. I never met him. He has no clue who I am. There's no reason he would ever anything like that. But he had such a huge impact on my life still. And you stop and think about that. This is a guy the character that he's created have been seen by billions of people, brought joy to billions of people, easily hundreds of millions of people, probably billions of people in certain regards. That is an incredible life. An interesting thing to think about. So over the last few days, I've seen a lot of tweets, updates, things saying, oh, it's so sad, it's heartbreaking that Stan Lee died. And for me, I don't think so. I don't think it's sad or heartbreaking that he died. And hear me out on this. Stan Lee lived an incredible life and a full life. I just feel like that's a life you can celebrate. And there's a sense of loss that he's no longer with us. And there's things like that. I understand that. And the last couple of years of his life were apparently, there were some people trying to take advantage of him. There were some strange things going on in the last couple of years. That's sad to me. That's heartbreaking. But that a man lived to be 95 and created the set of characters that have brought all of us so much joy, and that me so detached from him, yet he's changing the course of my life. living to be 95, that's an incredible thing. That's an incredible life that I just see a lot to be inspired by, to want to celebrate, to want to talk about in a positive light. So I don't think about deaths like that as heartbreaking. I just don't think about them that way. And maybe that's because in my, my past career stuff, I worked in church world, and I had a part of funerals. Like I was a part of the actual ceremony for teenagers dying and people 35 years old leaving kids behind. And that's what I think heartbreaking. But when I think about it, someone with a life like Stan Lee, that's something that's a neat thing. It's someone that's changed the course of human history, brought joy to so many people. I think we can just celebrate that. That's my kind of perspective on it. Yeah, actually just 2 weeks ago, I finished a book called Slugfest that was all about the slugfest between Marvel Comics and DC, and how DC was the easy champ, and how Stan Lee came along and took this 20-year-old comic book company, turned it around, and even took some characters that were 20 years old and reshaped them, invented new ones, and kind of told the story, at least of his career and his work. And, it told a lot of other things in there too. But I mean, it kind of walks you through him as the guy Stan Lee before he became the famous Stan Lee, and then through until the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And it's just a real neat story of what he was able to do. And so that's kind of my quick take on it, that, he lived an amazing life, and he brought us together. He brought us together. And maybe if you want to comment down below, which one of my videos is, if you're one of those people that one of my first videos that you saw was a Marvel one, tell me down below in the comment section, because I'm pretty sure that's a whole lot of you. And that means we can celebrate right now that we're talking, that you're commenting, that we're having all this fun talking movies together because of Stan Lee. And that's really cool. That's my quick take on it. What do you guys think about Stan Lee? I'd love to what's your fondest memory of him? I'd love to hear it down below. And thank you for hearing my sentimental ramblings about Stan Lee.